We acknowledge we are hosted on the lands of the Mississaugas of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Wendat. We also recognize the enduring presence of all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people.
Good afternoon, staff, guests, parents, and graduates. Welcome to the Wexford Collegiate School for the Arts 2021 commencement. I, John Stavropoulos, the Assistant Curriculum Leader of Health and Physical Education, will be your MC for this afternoon. It is an honor and a privilege. This year, we will be having a virtual ceremony despite all our efforts to have a hybrid of an in-person and virtual commencement ceremony. At this time, I would like to recognize the school's PORs. Carrie McLaren, Academic Pathways, English Moderns Literacy. Vanessa Reed, English ESL Literacy. Kirsten Smith, History, Social Sciences and Humanities. Hans Mesker, Academic Pathways, Geography and Numeracy. Linda Hatton, Visual Arts. Mari Lowe, Special Education. Carly Hart, Mathematics and Numeracy. Johnson Kong, Guidance and Career Education, Careers Co-op. Kaz Graham, Student Success, Student Achievement and Wellness. Danielle Devereaux, Performing Arts, Artistic. Shelley Mickenbaum, Performing Arts, Curriculum. Theo Diamantis, Digital, Media and Technology Studies. Myself, John Stavropoulos, Healthy Living and Physical Education. Lindsay Craig, Business, Student Leadership and Learning Resources. Christian Wrigley, Academic Pathways, Science, Chemistry and Physics. Radhika Patel, Academic Pathways, Science, Biology and STEM. I would also like to recognize Trustee David Smith, Superintendent Liz Holder, Principal Tom Lazaru, and Vice Principals Paula Pink-Grant, Karen Ireland, and Tiffany Peel. I would like to call upon our principal, Mr. Tom Lazaru, to share his thoughts and remarks with our graduates.
Honored guests, members of the platform party, fellow teachers, parents, graduates, good afternoon and welcome to Wexford Collegiate School for the Arts 2021 commencement ceremony. It is an absolute pleasure to address the graduating class of 2021 who left us only a short few months ago, surrounded by all who share in this celebration today. It is, of course, my pleasure as principal to address the graduating class each year, and I must admit, it's one of my greatest pleasures. This ceremony recognizes resilience, achievement, determination, and excellence. You have truly climbed your way to a plateau, or at least a safe foothold on the mountain of life. Today, we pause the climb to celebrate your success, the success of your family, and the success of our teachers. Your graduation year will go down in history as truly one to remember. This commencement signifies not just the beginning of a new stage in your lives, but it signifies the beginning of a new stage in the life of our world. Today, I plan to focus on your future, and particularly the future past post-secondary as well. I challenge each and every one of you to make a difference. Use your life in a meaningful way and experience joy. I have a simple message for you today. I place under the title, Count Your Blessings. You see, thousands of innocent people have lost their lives in a world moving through this pandemic. It sounds like the first line of an old movie or a documentary, but the sad part, it's not. What a drastic difference a year makes. Could you ever imagine our world in such tragic turmoil? Did you ever think you would have to come to terms with the concept of a global pandemic? Doesn't it strike you as a bit unusual that we cannot gather here at Wexford during an evening in celebration of your accomplishments, achievements, and excellence, enjoying the company of our families, teachers, and our closest friends in an old familiar building that feels safe and secure, like a favorite oversized sweatshirt when the world around us continues to embrace the pandemic? Should we feel guilty for comfort, safety, celebration, and joy? Not for 1 second. In fact, on March 2019, your graduating class, we learned to never again take joy for granted. So if you cannot understand that there is something in our spirit which responds to the challenge of climbing a mountain and goes out to meet it, that the struggle is the struggle of life itself, upward and forever upward, then you won't see why we go. What we get from this adventure is just sheer joy. And joy is, after all, the end product of life. We do not live to eat and make money. We eat and make money to be able to enjoy life. That is what life means and what life is for. When life has taken its toll on me, my mother would always say, "Count your blessings." A simple phrase we all heard a million times. In fact, it usually makes me angry when she would say that. But now I say to you, count your blessings and find joy. To the grads, we are proud of you. We admire you greatly and marvel your accomplishments. What a future you have ahead of you. Embrace it, change it, but be sure to seek and find joy. I want you to know we as adults, we trust you, we're proud of you, and we have tremendous faith in you. I would like to take this opportunity also to recognize and thank all the parents for their commitment, dedication, and unconditional love they've invested over the years. Without you, these young people would not have been able to thrive. To our honored guests who play a huge role in the life of our school, thank you. We consider you to be valued members of our extended family at Wexford, and our school would not thrive without you. To the Viking staff, well, you know how I feel, but more importantly, you know how our grads feel about you. The work that you did the last year and a half to get them to the finish line is just outstanding. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone who worked diligently behind the scenes on today's ceremony. The energy they expended is a direct reflection on how they feel about our young people. In closing, graduates, seek and find joy today and in the future. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back, and may the sun shine warm upon your face. Thank you and good luck.
The Ontario Secondary School Diploma is issued to students who have successfully met the requirements set out by the Toronto District School Board in order to earn their secondary school diploma. Ontario Scholars. The Ontario Scholars are grade 12 students who have achieved an overall average of 80% or higher. I now present to you our Ontario Scholars. The Wexford Retired Staff Association Award. This award is bestowed upon a student who has demonstrated tenacity in achieving a secondary school diploma and who is pursuing post-secondary studies. This year's recipient is Emmeline Pan. Wexford Staff Scholarships. These awards are presented to deserving graduating students who are going on to post-secondary education. The recipient must have been involved in the life of Wexford and maintained an acceptable academic standing. These awards have been made possible through the generosity of the Wexford's teaching staff. This year's recipients are Trevina McDonald, Ryan Escoban, and Natalie Hodges. Natalie is also receiving the OSSTF District 12 Jim McQueen Excellence in Education Award. This award is given to a student who displayed outstanding participation in their contribution to school life. The Susan Longuet Award. This award is presented in memory of Susan Longuet, beloved guidance counselor and school leader who was a passionate advocate for student success. As a caring, generous, and selfless person, she valued each student as an individual, without judgment. Her voice was a tireless advocate, supporting and accommodating students' academic, socio-emotional, and personal well-being. This award is presented to those whom Susan championed, a student who has persevered throughout their time at Wexford, demonstrating much resiliency, determination, and the initiative to succeed. This year's recipients are Gabrielle Johnson and Kushi Sagar. The Irene Merriam Memorial Award. This award is given to a graduating student who has demonstrated strong leadership skills, exceptional performing arts abilities, and a desire to pursue a career in the performing arts. This year's recipient is Emmett Young. The Reed Spence Memorial Award. This award is presented as a memorial to Reed Spence, commemorating excellence in the areas of English and geography. This year's recipient is Daniel Locke. The Scaltus Memorial Award. This monetary award was made possible through the generous donation of Marg Kerr, former principal of Wexford Collegiate School for the Arts. John was a Wexford graduate who didn't allow his condition to interfere with his zest for life and his ambition to pursue his post-secondary career. We know John would be proud to help his peers achieve their future goals. This year's recipient is Athalia McLean. The Grant Family Scholarship. This award is presented to a performing arts or visual arts student of Canadian African heritage who has demonstrated good citizenship and leadership within his or her peer group. The student must be a positive role model who has made significant gains and has been a positive influence throughout his or her time at Wexford CSA. This year's recipient is Maya Mickinson. The Wexford SAC Presidential Award. This award is presented to our SAC presidents to thank them for their commitment, energy, and school spirit. One of this year's recipients is Serena Powell. Serena is also winning the University of Toronto National Book Award. This award is presented in recognition of exceptional abilities, both personal and academic, in the eyes of the Wexford community and the university. The Ontario Principals Council Award for Student Leadership. This award is presented by the principal to a student who has shown continued leadership at Wexford Collegiate School for the Arts. This year's recipient is Lauren Creasy. She is also receiving the Wexford SAC Presidential Award and the Katie Oswald Performing Arts Scholarship. Catherine Katie Oswald was one of the most dedicated, hardworking students in Wexford performing arts history. Katie was the ultimate team player and contributed regularly to all aspects of the performing arts. This scholarship will be awarded to the student who demonstrates the leadership, versatility, and a strong work ethic, as well as the professionalism that Katie exhibited. Also receiving the Katie Oswald Performing Arts Scholarship is Mason Matthews. The Cedar Ridge Art Award. This award is made possible by Dr. Alan Long, a member of Cedar Ridge Creative Studio, in memory of his wife. The award recognizes a visual arts student who has shown outstanding merit in painting. This year's recipient is Sterling Wedge. The Sirpa Christensen Drawing and Painting Award. This award is given in memory of Sirpa Christensen, an outstanding former teacher who started teaching at Wexford in 1972. This year's recipient is Sadie Yorath. Peter Marsh Director's Award. This award is given to a student chosen by the art department for outstanding achievement. This year's recipient is Nicole Dugenia. The VMA Encouragement Scholarship. This award encourages and celebrates a student from the Visual Arts Department as they move towards their post-secondary artistic goals. The student graduating from the Visual Arts Department must have displayed talent, desire, and originality, and will continue to pursue art creation after graduation. This year's recipient is Anastasia Avgeros. The Runestone Award. This award is presented to the students who have made a significant contribution to the production and design of the Wexford Yearbook. This year's recipients are Khalil Heron. The other recipient of the Runestone Award is Scarlett Sai-Chu Lai. The Graduating Artist of the Year. This award goes to a graduating student for his or her outstanding artwork during the Great Masters Showcase. The student is chosen by the Visual Arts graduating class. And this year's recipient is Mike Lee. The Medal of the Governor-General of Canada. This award is presented to the student who achieves the highest academic standing in their graduating year. This year's recipient is Aishinur Yildiz. Aishinur is also the recipient of the Nicole Sutton Moderns Award. This award, celebrating unparalleled commitment to promoting language and the celebration of our multicultural heritage, is presented to a graduating student of French, honoring curriculum leader and teacher Nicole Sutton. Nicole Sutton was a dedicated French leader who cherished and celebrated all cultures and backgrounds with tremendous effort and festivities. This award recognizes a student who has completed 4 years of study in French and maintained the highest standing in these grades.
Graduating Artist of the Year. This award goes to a graduating student for his or her outstanding artwork during the Great Masters Showcase. The student is chosen by the Visual Arts graduating class. This year's recipient is Mike Lee.
Aishinur Yildiz is valedictorian.
Welcome parents, teachers, guardians, staff, and fellow graduates. I hope you guys are comfortable. This evening, we're here to celebrate the end of an era, the graduation of the class of 2021. It's weird to think that we entered this building as a group every other grade looked down upon, the Niners, and that we left as seniors without really being able to do the same. So as I speak and as we reminisce, let's not forget to enjoy our superiority at this moment. Oddly, I remember my grade 9 year pretty well, and the one thing that really stuck with me for some reason was the hero's journey that we learned in English class. It's an archetype, a series of events that all our favorite heroes go through in their stories. The journey starts when the hero gets a call to adventure, and after some protests, enters an unknown world. You guys have no idea where I'm going with this. We entered our unknown world, high school, as children, unaware of just how much we'd be growing and changing. If you were to ask me when I realized that I was really in unknown territory, I'd have to say it was when I was in the cafeteria one day, and I heard these banging sounds and I thought someone was trying to get in, but it turns out they were just starting a beat on the table, High School Musical style. Following the hero's journey, we met new faces and had the opportunity to form valuable friendships and bonds with people we might have never even come across if Wexford wasn't the commuter school it was. Of course, with these friends, the hero must face a series of tests. Our mini adventure was filled with expected and unexpected obstacles and events. Some of these that we shared, such as exams, except the last 2 years, the walkouts, and the fire, while others were entirely personal. We managed to overcome challenges throughout our 4 years, using the life skills we gained through our classes and experiences with others. While in Wexford, we didn't only learn about subjects, we learned more about ourselves, who we are, who we can be, and the type of people we should strive to be. Along with friends, the hero also has support from other helpers to accomplish their goals. We truly couldn't have done it without them. A deep thank you to Quizlet, Khan Academy, SparkNotes, and Kahoot. These challenges and experiences all lead up to the final test, the grand ordeal. For us, it was undoubtedly the pandemic and our period of quarantine. It was a new level of unknown in our already unknown world. We were stripped of our friends and all familiarity as we completed the remainder of our 11th and the entirety of our 12th year with a mixture of online and guarded in-person learning. It was a test of patience as we waited for someone on the Google Meet to sacrifice themselves and unmute to answer the teacher's question that had been hanging in the air for the past 5 minutes. A test of time, as some of us woke up just before 8:50 to fill out the attendance form before going back to sleep. Virtual learning was definitely an adjustment and came with its hardships, especially since so many of us were dealing with broken cameras and microphones. Though we sometimes lacked motivation and protested our lack of freedom, quarantine was a time of discovery and self-growth, where we had our own revelations and realized what was really important: health and those who we love. I really do believe that the real struggles that came with the pandemic, which differed from household to household, person to person, matured us as people and taught us to appreciate the things in life that we were used to taking for granted. The hero can finally reap the rewards of their victorious journey. Our reward presented itself in the form of a diploma, a free hoodie no one was expecting, and memories of our time at Wexford. These memories will fade over the years, but they'll come to mind in the most unexpected moments. One song will remind us of trying to rush to class in the morning or after lunch. A countdown will take us back to the beep test we had to complete in PE. One day when we're shopping for sunglasses, maybe we will remember trying to choose the least dirty goggles in science class. Some of these memories make us smile, and some of them make us glad that they're just memories now. Nevertheless, it's no question that they all hold a special place in our hearts. From the moment we stepped into this building, and even before that, we'd all been on the same path, a path led by the Ministry of Education. We're all still works in progress, but with our distinct identities, we're now ready for our paths to split. Some of us are attending university or college, others are getting a head start by joining the workforce, and some may be taking a little break to pursue other interests or to rest. It's important to remember that any path is acceptable as long as the destination in mind is a place where we're happy and healthy. I also take comfort in knowing that we aren't going down a one-way road. We can always decide later that one path isn't for us and switch to another. While we focus on the paths we're taking, we shouldn't forget about the person walking the way. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay not to know everything. Throughout my 4 years, I had the same few questions crossing my mind. When will I figure life out? When will life get easier? When will they clean the egg stains off the windows? And what I realized by the end of these 4 years is that the answer to nearly all of these questions is never. While life is a puzzle, it's not one to necessarily figure out or solve entirely, but navigate instead. Life doesn't get easier, we just become more resilient. If I were to give one piece of advice, it would be not to shy away from new experiences and opportunities. Don't be afraid to take risks, reasonable risks. Keep your future a priority, but try living your life to the fullest. When it comes to the future of this group, I don't think we have much to worry about. One valuable thing I realized about us is that, as the heroes of our journey, we aren't afraid to speak up or help others find their voice. We all have activists in us with a strong sense of justice, compassion, and unity. Whether it be pushing for equity and equality for people of color, of different religions, sexual orientations, cultures, and countries, as well as protecting our environment and all life it's composed of. While we're on our separate paths, it's these shared values that are the golden thread, connecting all of us to one another. When I think about the class of 2021, I see a bright future, a future that will be made bright with our contributions. It's all these different and strong individuals that made our time at Wexford the special and original experience it was. We all left our mark here. Students who planned countless events, athletes who represented our school in different sports, members of clubs, the singers, dancers, actors, and musicians who put on those amazing shows. Students who worked behind the scenes in tech, the artists who decorated our school with beautiful artwork and galleries, the students who arrived early in the morning to prepare breakfast for others, the ones who sacrificed their own class time to keep the hallways safe, those who provided commentary and jokes during class, the lifesavers who posted what day it was on social media, the students not a part of any programs who maintained the balance in this school, and students who helped others with classwork. I can go on and on, but I'm running out of breath and time. Just coming here and showing up, that was a contribution. All of us, with all the good, bad, and a little questionable, we were Wexford's spirit. I'd like to express my gratitude for our parents, guardians, teachers, guidance counselors, and really any adult who listened, empathized, inspired, and taught us important life lessons and life skills. They acted as beacons of light and were true guidance on this otherwise uncertain road. We couldn't have done it without them. We entered this 4-year experience as wide-eyed children and successfully ended it as bright and capable adults. If you guys are actually in front of me right now, you can see the pride in my eyes, but you aren't, and it feels weird to be making as intense eye contact with the cameras, so I hope you guys can feel how proud I am of us. Because we came from Wexford, fearless and bold, and that's how I know we're going to be continuing the rest of our journeys. Congratulations to the class of 2021. I hope this next phase in our lives exceeds all expectations. I wish us all the best of luck.